So then how did you actually break in and start working with Gino Hernandez?
It was just I was going to school at Texas Tech. Wanted to be going to be an EMT, work in the ambulances, and then actually go into being a paramedic, and then on to ski patrol up in Colorado. I really, really, really liked to ski at that time, and I thought that would be kind of a cool job, and in the wintertime was to like skate, be able to ski up and save someone. And heard my parents talking that they were looking for a girl for Gino Hernandez. That at the time, Sunshine had been working Dallas, had been phenomenal, had some excellent matches, had excellent chemistry with Jimmy Garvin and David Von Erich. They did some absolutely priceless vignettes. She was doing really, really well. Well, unfortunately, she succumbed to some addiction issues and had gone into rehab. Well, when she was in rehab, they needed to cover that 3 to 4 months that she would have to take off and to keep the angle going because they just didn't want to drop money. So they brought in Stella, who was her truck driving auntie, who carried an axe handle and beat up truckers just for the fun of it. Well, back then, with the guys and the guys didn't touch the girls, and the same thing with the girls didn't touch the guys. If they were having like a mixed tag match and the girls were wrestling and one of them tagged out, then both males would have to get in the ring without any altercation between the men or the females. It was just hands off. So with Gino here, he's got this nemesis now in Stella, and he can't do anything about it. So the answer to that would be to bring in another girl to take care of his problem. Well, that's what they were looking for. Well, I thought, like, with my height and my size, and I really like Gino, so why not? And I took my dad's black book and went to a boyfriend's house and called the Dallas office. And thankfully, David Manning answered the phone. And when David answered the phone, I gave him like kind of my idea of how it could work, and maybe they could use me. And David absolutely loved the idea, said that they were getting ready to have a meeting with Fritz and that he would call me right back. Well, sure enough, about half hour, 45 minutes later, David called back and just said Fritz loved the idea. They couldn't wait to start working with it, that I was like, would be perfect for it. And that the only problem was who was going to tell my dad, because they knew that my dad was not going to approve of my decision or Dallas's office's decision to use me. And sure enough, it didn't go over well. But I mean, I was 22 at the time, and I had gone to school for 4.5 years, and just I could always go back to school. So off I went and loaded up the car and went to Dallas and stayed with a friend for the couple of months I was there, and just had a blast and learned a lot and traveled a lot of miles, and um, went on to Crockett after that. But Dallas certainly was an introduction into the business. I wasn't smart until my very first match, until they gave me my finish, and they figured it out, like, oh my gosh, that's how they do it. And um, just one heck of a time. That's all I can say. Just one heck of a time.
Gino Hernandez is such a what if situation. Like gosh, if he didn't pass when he did, what that man could have accomplished. What could you tell me
Right.
about Gino Hernandez?
I learned a lot from the Dark Side of the Ring episodes. Unfortunately, I think he had a lot of demons. He certainly lived at least 3 or 4 full lifestyles that were totally different from each other. Like, he's the father, the dad, the husband, has 2 little girls. Then he's like the movie star playboy going out to Hollywood and having pictures taken like with Farrah Fawcett. Then he's like running drugs for the cartel. Then he's got like the gay um, disco lifestyle with a friend of his at a bar in Houston. So it was very complex. And it wasn't until the Dark Side of the Ring that I kind of realized everything, kind of put everything together, because I had no clue. But I Gino, at one point, I think someone had said that he would have made a good four horseman. Did I think about him being a four horseman? And at the time, I thought, wow, that would have been good. It would have been really awesome, like with Tully and him as a tag team, like the dynamic duo that they had in Dallas or in San Antonio. Then you've got Arn and Gino, and then you can do six mans with Gino, Arn, and Tully. There's so many different ways that you could play off the dynamics of that it certainly was a missed opportunity. But you also have to look at how long would Gino have lasted on the road, because anytime he went to like Florida, I think he was there just for like a week and had bookings and left. I mean, he just lasted a couple of days. And the same thing with New York. I mean, he was just gone for like a couple of days and then would have to go back to Texas, and just seemed so comfortable in Texas, unless they could work around his schedule where he didn't leave Texas, it wouldn't have worked. I mean, because he just couldn't stay away from, he couldn't stay out on the road for very long.
What are your thoughts on Fritz?
Just, I think he's really misunderstood by a lot of people that misjudged him, like with his boys. Here you've got beautiful, handsome, dynamic sons, all of them athletic and smart and just the cream of the crop. And especially like with David, Kevin, and Carrie, they pretty much just bodies of Greek gods, and just very athletic and very naturally athletic. And being a dad, you want the very, very best for your sons. And that sometimes I think that you can love and care for them too much that you become blind to the side effects of what you're doing. No one knew the damages that steroids would do at that time. It was kind of like a miracle drug. It helped your body grow and heal back faster. And at the time, everyone thought it was great until they started seeing, the side effects of it. I think it was like too much too soon. The boys really did appreciate the fans and appreciate Texas and appreciate everything, but it was just so much. And when you have so much, you have a lot of responsibility. And I don't think that the boys could handle the responsibility of having everything that was given to them and everything that they earned.
Any stories of the Von Erich boys?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Any stories about the Von Erich boys?
Oh, the Von Erich boys. There was a promoter in Abilene called the Lawman, and his wife wasn't a very vocal or visual part of the promotion, but she definitely helped her husband, helped Don Slatton. And so I don't think she was a big fan of the Von Erichs, because the Von Erichs, you loved them or hated them, and I think some promoters didn't like them because they were really bad about no showing. Like you'd book David and Kevin. Well, David might be the only one that shows up, and that's hard to kind of work with sometimes. So anyway, so let's just say she was not a fan of the Von Erichs. Well, Kevin had found a big snapping turtle on the way to the show, and he had it in the dressing room, and they were all just messing with this turtle. Well, she went over and was just telling Don to get the turtle out of the dressing room, and yelling and screaming and carrying on. Well, it was Kevin went over there and said, "Here, I'll get the turtle for you," and was going to nudge, like get the turtle out the door, and it reared back and bit him. So it bit him on the toe. So here you got everybody screaming, "Get the turtle out of the dressing room." And the turtle has got a death lock on Kevin's toe, and the promoter's wife screaming like, "Everybody's got to get out of there. She's had enough. Everybody's got to go." So imagine like 10 guys in the dressing room and just absolute chaos, and the turtle has no idea what's happened.
10 guys and a turtle. That's like a Lifetime movie title.
True, true.